All right, so we finished folding our paper. So once again, we made our square first, we cut off that extra piece, and then we finished folding our paper so that we have 8 even sections all the way around our square. Okay, we are going to use our pencil now and our Sharpie, and we got out our magic rub just in case we need to erase a large section. All right, so I want you to do exactly what I'm doing to start, and that just means picking the same section. If you pick a different section to work in, it might get a little confusing as we go to learn how to duplicate your image all the way around, or replicate, I should say, because we're not just duplicating it, we're going to make it go all the way around, so 8 total times. So the section I want you to work in is right here. I'm going to use another pen to kind of show you where that section is. This is the section right here that we're going to work in, okay? Think of it like 1 o'clock. So if this is midnight, we're working in that 1 o'clock time zone, okay? And then we're going to work our way around our clock. So we are only drawing in this section right now, but we don't want to outline it. We don't want to do anything like that because we want that image to get moved all the way around and connected without anybody knowing that we did like kind of a magic trick to do it. So we are going to make something interesting. I want you to think like when you make a paper snowflake and when you cut out those shapes, that's kind of what we're going to do, but we're going to draw instead. So you need to make sure that what you're drawing, you are able to trace and replicate as we go. We're not cutting anything else. You don't have to worry about like when you make a snowflake, it gets a little tricky because it's hard to cut out. You can do detail, but you need to really think about what it might look like. So I'm going to go ahead and start drawing in my section. And I'm going to make sure that a lot of my design touches those edges of those creases in my section. Okay, so I'm going to kind of do some curvy-like pieces. And again, remember, I'm touching the edges, and I'm making sure I have interesting things on the inside as well. And I'm going to kind of play with this outside edge. I'm going to go another small one, and then I'm going to do a big one that is going to end up connecting to this crease here. So if you kind of think about what's going to happen is this image is going to reflect onto this side. So kind of watching my pencil, I'm sorry that the camera keeps refocusing. It would kind of come up and around, and you can kind of see how it would replicate. So you kind of have to think about that as you're working. So draw lightly in case you want to change something up and change your design. Let's see, I'm going to go this way. And I really like circles, but I don't know if circles are going to work with this design, but we'll see if I can mix them in at all. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do half circles. I'm going to make a half circle here and a half circle here. And the reason why I say half circles is because when it reflects to this side, it's also going to make a full circle. I'm going to hide a circle over here as well. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do in this middle section here. And I want everything to be a shape. Try to avoid just drawing individual lines. So remember, using your borders, everything I've drawn so far is its own shape, and it can be filled in. If you just have lines, you can't color it, right? It can only be traced in Sharpie. It doesn't mean you can't do it. You just need to think about that as you're drawing and developing your design. All right, I'm going to do a few more circles. I'm going to do one here, here, and here, and I'm going to do one more that goes halfway there. All right, and then I have to decide, do I want anything here or do I think it's good? Everything else is touching an edge. I feel like I should stop, okay? So that's gonna be my design, that's it. And so the next step is to Sharpie it, okay? So I'm going to take my nice clean Sharpie and I'm gonna carefully trace over my pencil. Take your time. The faster you go with this Sharpie, you tend to be kind of sloppy. And this is one project where we need to stay super precise. Because if we miss, it's going to kind of affect the next section. So I'm tracing this whole piece. Go on the outsides. Making sure that goes all the way to the edge. I had to kind of adjust a little bit there, so I will erase in a second. Okay, so now I can go ahead and take my magic rub, and I'm going to erase out any extra pencil from here. Okay, cool. That's it. The next step is going to be learning how to replicate it, and I've got to move myself to a different part of my house to be able to show you. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you didn't draw any lines on those creases. Leave it invisible. The more invisible you make it, the cooler it's going to be when we're done. I can't wait to see your designs.